Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So we're in the middle of Brink of War. We just started the training days, so just a few days left before the new KVK starts. And I thought I'd give you a preview today, just a short video on, who our opponents are, who our allies are, as well as a few, tips and tricks for the upcoming season. All right, so hey, let's go around the map. We're server 17, the Eternal Ducks. To our north, 156 BNR, they're on the other team. To their north, server 40, that's TFS. They're also on the other team. To their right, 375, that's NxW, they're our allies. And to their south, 286, that's WGL, our other allies. And then the last alliance, 314, that's OO or Sheesh. They're obviously on the other team as well. So we are between two enemies, as is Sheesh. The other two alliances are sort of bordering one enemy and one ally, which is good. At least everyone is bordering one opponent, so we should see some good PvP throughout this season. Okay, so what about the metrics here? A lot of the metrics are very close. In fact, if you look at the power numbers, they're extremely similar between these two camps, if you will. There is one exception, however. The other team has dramatically more higher power players. I think they have about 100 more 100 million power players than R3 servers do. And then it's also another big discrepancy when you look at 150 million power players. Our alliances have more active accounts, so it's a broad versus tall kind of situation where, we have more lower power players and they have fewer higher power players, with the total power being very equal between the two. There were several other alliance matches that we considered. Ultimately, we hit an impasse and we end up resolving this through a randomization effect. So how did we get here? This is what the wheel decided. And I think that's actually kind of playing out in Brink of War so far. We're like a few hours into the training days, and the way I think of it, the troll days, they're like a pretty decent proxy for activity, right? How broad your alliance is. Because, you save FCP bags, but really there's not a huge advantage that Krakens, that superpower whales have over the average player during the troll days. And then the training days is kind of the inverse, right? The really strong players are going to be able to train more troops than the weaker players. And so days 3 and 4 benefit the taller alliances. You might see less people training up during the training days. And why is that? Well, we have the Mage Skin Great Heights coming up, sometime probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. I think that's going to be the most popular skin we've seen in the game to date. And so a lot of people, I think, are saving up for that, are going to be reluctant to push during Brink of War with the Great Heights Mage skin just so close around the corner. Now, like I said, I wanted to give you a couple quick tips before you head into the next season. Just some very easy things to, improve your early season gameplay. The first is something to not do, and it's actually easy to miss this up. The CP recovery bags, do not buy them until you get into your new KVK, right? All your CP recovery bags are going to be wiped out the second you go into your KVK, and you're going to need that CP to get prestige by killing Darklings, Dark Forts, whatever. And so it is a huge loss to lose 10 of these things right off the bat. But very soon after the KVK begins, you have that Darkling event where you need to kill as many Darklings as possible to trigger the timing of the season. So maybe you want to delay that, but a lot of servers want to kill those Darklings as quick as possible. And if you buy your CP bags and get them wiped, well, that's a big L for you. So do not buy your CP recovery bags until you get into the new season. That's tip number 1, all right? Tip number 2 is, for the first time, we have the merit store open all the time, and it's kind of the same principle here. So go into your merit store, the daily stuff, do whatever, but the weekly stuff, do not buy the elixir until you get into the KVK. It's the same deal. Any elixir you have stored is going to be wiped out as soon as you enter the KVK, but the store will be unchanged, so don't buy these, and in fact do not refresh your weekly supply until the KVK starts. Third and final tip, a lot of us will buy sort of the seasonal pass, Titan's Legacy here, when it starts. One of the weekly quests you almost always get is to open 8 dark chests. But the thing is, you're not going to have, if you go into the season with no dark keys, you're not going to be able to open 8 dark chests in the 2 days of that last week there. So try and save up 5 keys when you enter the season so you can quickly open up some dark chests and complete that weekly quest. And the reason that's kind of important, unfortunately, I can't show you the rewards here. Titan's Legacy gives you a lot of CP rewards, and so you want to get through it like as quickly as possible early in the season to get those CP bags, just to get a little extra Darklings, Dark Force, whatever, to get that prestige to get you rolling. Okay, so right after I finished recording the video, I went and did my pets, and I caught this Auric. It didn't look like this. I was trying to roll it down to get the 2 slots, and I got this result, right? 8 skill slots, S tier strength, S tier agility, A tier luck. So this is like pretty good. It's nowhere near as good as my current Auric. I mean, my current Auric only has 7 slots, but look at these stats. So there's no way I'm abandoning that. But someone asked, hey, why don't you auction this? Hey, I would love to auction this, but like, is it worth buying? At a certain price, it's worth buying. But let's go into the auction and just see, right? At a minimum, to buy this would cost 75,000 coins. I don't think it's worth that. I would love to sell it for far less than this, but the stupid auction system fixes a price floor, which makes it just about worthless. So, hey, Lilith, why don't you go ahead and fix this? Why don't you let us set our own prices? That's how you really get this auction system to take off. And hey, look, if you if you want to buy this, let me know in a DM, right? So that's the preview of our upcoming season. And until next time, you stay classy, Belleron.